You're listening to The Manning Report with your host, James David Manning. The news behind the headlines.
You know, everybody's discussing that Mueller is only going to say what's in the report. He's going to refer everybody back to his report. The big question is going to be that they're going to ask is, if Tribulation Trump was not the president of the United States, would you have indicted him for obstruction of justice? How he's going to respond to that. A lot of pundits are saying, well, he's going to just say, in report we stated that we could not indict a sitting president, and he's not going to take it any further than that. He's not going to pontificate or opine or that kind of a thing. And so everybody's trying to figure out how to get Robert Mueller to be able to be more demonstrative, because I think most people are of the mindset, including Trump and everybody else, is that the Mueller report is quite damning. The Mueller report gives several listings of Tribulation Trump actually obstructing justice. And Mueller says in his report that if he could have exonerated the president, he would have done so as well. And I'm willing to go as far and say that the Mueller report also demonstrates that there was collusion of the 144 meetings between Trump and his campaign and the Russians, that there was collusion. But that's a little bit more difficult to deal with, because at that point you would have to nullify Trump's election by saying that he was put in office by the Russians. And nobody's willing to go that far, so they obfuscated that. But obstruction of justice, but my question is this, is that why is it that Mueller does not want to opine? I mean, Bill Barr, gangster Bill Barr, who's now the Attorney General, lied on Robert Mueller when he gave that 4-page summary back on the 22nd of April on at about 4:30 in the afternoon. He lied. Bill Barr flat out lied. He lied and said there was no obstruction and there was no collusion. He lied. And so Robert Mueller then sends a letter a week later to Bill Barr explaining that he misquoted him and did not give the full synopsis of the report, and that within the report itself, in each segment, there is a summary, and the summaries indicate that there was collusion, that there was obstruction rather. And Robert Mueller then comes sometime later and he makes a statement, a 9-minute statement indicating that Bill Barr lied. Now, Bill Barr is a flat-out gangster. I suspect that Bill Barr has always wanted to be a gangster all his life. He went into law enforcement, but his real hankering was to be a gangster. But he went into law enforcement, and he did all the things that, you know, the people climbing up the ladder of being a law enforcement and being a lawyer and all of that kind of stuff. He did all that, but deep down inside of his heart, he always wanted to be a gangster. You know, and now he has the opportunity with Tribulation Trump, who is a racist gangster, to actually be a flat-footed gangster, just lying. Anyway, but why is it that Robert Mueller, what is it about Robert Mueller that he doesn't want to point the finger at Trump and say, Trump, you know, obstructing justice in a large number of ways? And my report does say that, but my report says it in black and white. My report says it in English and legal jargon. Let me just put it down where everybody can get it. Why doesn't Robert Mueller do that? That's a good question. Why? Was he protected? What's all this business about he's a by the book kind of a guy? What the hell does that mean? Well, what the hell does that mean? I mean, what is this that Robert Mueller is saying that and why the hell has he asked the Department of Justice for permission to speak? He doesn't work for the Department of Justice anymore. He sent them a letter a week ago asking how should he speak. He doesn't work for the Department of Justice anymore. Well, what the hell is this? I mean, here you got this runaway gangster, you got this buffoon, you got this public degenerate, you got this first-class racist Tribulation Trump and a bunch of racist white people supporting him, and Robert Mueller talking about he don't want to opine on nothing. And even Tribulation Trump gets on television with that lying tongue and that damn red tie talking about no obstruction, no collusion. Mueller found no obstruction, no collusion, no nothing, a nothing burger, no nothing. And Mueller knows that Trump is lying. Why the hell don't he just say it? What is it about Mueller said, I don't want to get involved in anything. What do you mean you don't want to get involved? What the hell you get hired for? You let that, Mueller sits there, and Trump stands before the, no collusion, He did the damn hands like he's patting somebody on the butt or something. No collusion, no obstruction, no nothing. No collusion. You see his damn hand, that red tie flopping in the damn wind. No collusion, no obstruction. They found nothing. I'm completely exonerated. He lied. And Robert Mueller knows he's lying. All the FBI agents and attorneys that worked on the progress know he's lying. Bill Barr know he's lying. Them snagger tooth, snuff dipping, tobacco chewing, F-150 Silverado driving, red cap MAGA wearing, redneck white people know Trump is lying too. They all know he's lying. So what is it with Robert Mueller? What is it? What is it? What is it? That Mueller told me he want to play by the book. What damn book? What book? What book? But the other side of this is that nobody needs Robert Mueller in the first place. All we need is some backbone and a set of cojones. Well, for Nancy Pelosi, listen, we need to make Al Green, the Democrat from down in Texas, Speaker of the House. You don't need Robert Mueller's testimony, and I guess he could go further. He could do a whole lot more, but you don't need his testimony. All you gotta do is just read his report and say this boy, Tribulation, and everybody. Hell, we don't need no hearing them all. Everybody knows Trump has obstructed justice. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Who anybody don't know it? Them snagger tooth, handkerchief head, red cap wearing, tobacco chewing, snuff dipping, alligator spitting white folk down there, they all know them. No education, if you will, no sense, no cojones. Think that this worshiping of this white boy with that red necktie from up here in New York, who's a casino owner, is gonna make them down there in Mississippi somebody. Hell, they ain't gonna never be nobody. But everybody knows Trump is justice. So what's the big deal? Oh, we got to go through legal procedure. Oh, I see. Well, he got all the Republican Party behind him, and if we don't get Republicans to vote in the Senate, there'll be just an exercise in futility. Well, then futility exercise. If we raise the impeachment business against Trump, and we don't do it, it's gonna make him look like let me say it, Trump ain't gonna gain nobody, he ain't gonna lose nobody. Let's get that straight, all right? No matter what you do, no matter what Nancy Pelosi does or what the Democrats do, what Gerald Nadler does, what Adam, whatever they do, Trump ain't gonna lose nobody. He ain't gonna gain nobody. But the point of the matter is that the American people they need justice. Even if you impeach Trump, even if the House and the Senate did vote to impeach Trump, he still ain't gonna lose them rednecks, them tobacco chewers, them snuff dippers, them Silverado F-51 drivers, them handkerchief head, make America great again, red cap wearing, coochie grabbing women. They ain't gonna lose them. They ain't gonna never leave him. What the hell they gonna listen? You need to understand something. This ain't about whether Trump should be impeached or not. This is about whether white people can remain, a certain class of white people, let me clarify that, a certain class of white people can remain in power any longer. And the answer to that is no. No. And it doesn't matter, even if you don't impeach Trump, the white dominance is over with. It's just over with. Hell, it's over with. And everybody needs to know it. All these Republicans run around here, all these old white men, your day is gone. It's just over with. You're just through. So really all this is a facade, but I think that Mueller, for the American media to let Mueller get away with the fact that somehow he's some sort of a damn Boy Scout who ain't gonna never go against the book, it's ridiculous. It's unpatriotic. Here, if Mueller knows, he did the investigation, Mueller knows that Trump obstructed justice, yet he ain't gonna tell the American people, what the hell is that? Then maybe you ought to put Mueller on trial. Well, you gotta be careful, don't get him upset. What the hell, who cares about whether Mueller gets upset or not? Who cares? Well, if he gets upset, he might walk out. Well, let him walk out. He won't be the first one. And what is it? What is it that he's so? I mean, and what is it? They're all gangsters. That he's a man of impeccable integrity. That may have been some time ago. He ain't a man of impeccable integrity now, and he never will be. Even if he gets up and said Trump stomped down, not only committed obstruction of justice, but he colluded as well. Robert Mueller's his integrity is gone. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.